Yeah, I need to get this video rolling. Let's do this. Let's do this. Because today is story time with Becca. So, I've done my best over the years, from little to now, to stay away from the emergency room. And I did so good until something happened that wasn't my control. Now I know what you guys are thinking. It had to be your control if you end up in the emergency room. Not really, because I don't know what happened, and I'm going to tell you what I remember from this experience, but I ended up going to the emergency room for getting sick and not be able to stop. Now I know some of you guys are like, what? Like, I'm not getting it. So let's start out with what it was. I remember it was Saturday, June 12th, because that day I was supposed to go to a ranch kind of thing and ride horses for my birthday party. I think I was turning 11 or something. And I got up that morning, and I know my body pretty well now to know when I'm gonna get sick, but back then I didn't really know, so I got out of bed thinking, oh, you know what, I just need to go to the bathroom, I'll be fine. But that morning I got up and got sick right in the middle of the hallway. So if for some reason you guys were over at my house or something, I would probably point that out to you guys. Just ask me about it and I'll be like, oh yeah, that was right here. So I got sick and my mom's like, oh, you know what, we have to cancel it. And I was so upset because I really wanted that birthday party. I'm like, I want to ride the horses. And then she's like, can't be you kitties, because that sound came from over there. So I was just like, I was like all upset and I was crying, and then later that day, I kept on getting sick. No matter what I did, no matter what my mom did, I couldn't eat crackers, I couldn't drink liquids, I couldn't keep anything down. Nothing. Air couldn't even stay down. That's how bad it was. And then later that day, when I went to stop, my mom took me to, not the emergency room, but it was like urgent care. It was kind of like that. Like, my mom was able to get me a doctor's appointment. No, wait, it wasn't urgent care. My mind's all mixed up right now. Give me a second. Okay, so my mom got me a doctor's appointment that day, on Saturday. She got me a doctor's appointment. And we went to the doctor's, and there was an area that if you were sick, like you could be contagious, they put you in a different waiting room. And my mom put me there. Like, she put me there because she didn't know if I was contagious or not. And I got sick on the floor. I was playing with something and I got sick. And then my mom went up and told them, and then they rushed me, not exactly rushed me, but they got me in quicker. Put me into a room, and I don't know why I did this. Don't ask me why I did this, but once I got into the room, my mom was like talking with the people out there. I don't know what she was doing, but she wasn't in the room. And I went, like, there was a bed right here, and then there was a counter. I still remember the counter. It was like a, kind of like a V kind of thing, like that. It was a different kind of counter. And instead of laying on the bed, because I've been up for like the longest time getting sick, and you know when getting sick you get extremely tired. I don't know why I didn't lay on the bed, but I went and laid on the counter. I laid on the counter. Oh, I know why. It's because the, you know those little throw up trays that they have? It was because those were there. I don't know why I decided that, oh, throw up trays, I have to go lay over there. I don't know why I thought that. I'm just like, I don't feel good, I need to go lay down. So I lay down, and I fell asleep until my mom came in. And then she woke me up, and they didn't know what was wrong. They just thought, I don't remember much at the doctor's, but they tried a few things, nothing worked. So I went home, and then that night I wouldn't stop getting sick, and I think my mom was getting more and more worried, so she took me to the emergency room. This is where it gets interesting. My mom took me to the emergency room, and I waited in the waiting room for a bit. And I still remember, you know those weird things that they put on your fingers that, you know, it's like checks your heartbeat or whatever? Pulse or something? They had that on my finger, and I was just like kind of sitting there like, what is this thing? Because I'm completely out of it. I've been up for almost 24 hours getting sick, nonstop, nothing in my stomach. I'm just standing there just staring at like, what is this thing? Why is this thing on my finger? And then they're like checking my pulse and everything. I'm just kind of looking at them like, what are you guys doing to me? So then they got me into, well, it was like extremely packed that day. I don't know why, but we were, like my mom said, we were in the very back. It was like, it wasn't exactly a room that they had me in. It was like, there was a bed, and then there was curtains, and there was other people. All I remember is the curtains. And for some reason I remember the clock. So they tried giving me medicine, and they said, okay, what flavor do you want? Do you want Kool-Aid? And I still hate them for this. Do you want Kool-Aid or juice? Because they were going to put medicine in that. And I'm like, I want Kool-Aid. That thing did not taste like Kool-Aid whatsoever. What was that? I don't know. But it was not the Kool-Aid I remember. And it's just like I tasted it and I'm like, oh no. And I got sick. Again. Each time they tried to feed it to me, I got sick. And then my mom ended up saying, you know what? This isn't working. She's continuing to get sick. Do you guys have any other plans? And they're like, well, you know what? We could stick a tube inside of her. I'm not going to say where because I don't remember where. But we would have to put her to sleep for that. And well, let's just say they didn't need to put me to sleep. In a half an hour, I was already out. Someone could put loud music right next to my ear with the largest speaker on the highest volume next to my ear, blast it, and I would not wake up because I was that knocked out. So fast forwarding for a bit, they did something to me. I have no idea what they did. They put something inside of me that calmed my stomach. Oh, they put the medicine in because I couldn't keep it down. So they ended up putting it in somehow. And then after that, I remember like I just kind of like woke up and my mom tapped me saying, hey, Becca. And I'm like, what? And then she's like, happy birthday. And I looked at the clock. It was 1 a.m. and it was Sunday, June 13th, which is my birthday. So I was just like thinking, why should I care right now? I am in the emergency room and you tell me that my birthday's today. And I'm like, I just went right back to sleep. But then after, I don't know how long we stayed there, but later that morning, I got out of there and I couldn't exactly walk because I was that tired. And I slept for that like entire next day. Like I'm not joking, for that rest of that day I slept. They took me in, like they took me in a, what's that called? Wheelchair. They took me in a wheelchair and they rolled me out. And I still remember that wheelchair. I remember not trying to be mean, but it almost looked like I was handicapped. The way that I was laying, I was just kind of like, I was literally laying like this. I was just, I'm not making fun of handicapped people, but that's how I looked. I was just, and I just had my eyes slowly open, like just that much, like not even enough. Like I could barely even see the camera with my eyes open this much. But we had a station wagon back then, and they took me outside, and my mom helped me into the back of the station wagon, and for the rest of that day, I slept. And since then, I have not been in the emergency room except for other people, which is family members. But I did my best to watch what I ate after that because we have no idea why I got that sick. So we just kind of like, okay, we don't know why this happened, but we'll try not to let it happen again. And I hope it never happens again. So anyway, I hope you guys like this really random story time with Becca moment because I just like one of my friends, I was talking with her at church and she had to go to the emergency room. So I told her that story. I'm like, hey, you know what? I should tell YouTube that story. So I decided to tell you guys. I'm having trouble, you know, explaining stuff, so I don't know if I explained it well enough. But if you guys have any questions about what happened that night, go ahead and comment down below and I'll answer whatever questions you have for me. Like the video because that was the most horrific thing that ever happened in my life. Not really, but that, when I was 11, that was horrible. Oh, technically I was 12, 11 to 12. The last moments I was being 11 and the first moments of being 12 was the worst ever. Anyway, subscribe. Talk to you guys later. So peace out. I'm gonna go eat my salad with eggs and cheese and lettuce and all that great stuff, and I'll talk to you guys back.